Yep, we just loaded up because we got some storms coming.
We've been here 4 minutes since we pulled up to the site.
Say we dragged a plow truck up a hill in the woods.
And you can travel just as fast as in reverse as forward.
Notice that's a skid steer attachment you got on the end of there. And they're just showing us how they use these things. All right, guys, today we're at the village of Slinger, and I'm going to introduce you to the Slinger team. Guys, actually introduce yourselves.
Oh, I'm Dan McCarthy. I work for LF George.
Okay.
James Pilgrim with LF George as well.
I'm Al Strupp. I'm with the Village of Slinger Foreman.
Riley Clay, Village of Slinger.
I'm Ono Bouvet. I work for Mecalac. Jeff Andrews. I work for Mecalac.
Travis from the Village of Slinger.
All right, and I'm Stan, the Dirt Monkey, guys. And the guy I want to introduce you to right now is Al. He basically takes this machine home and cuddles with it at night.
I wish.
You put about 600 hours on this thing in the last 18 months.
Yep.
Why do you like this machine so much, Al?
I like it because it's versatile and you can drive it everywhere. You don't have to haul it on a trailer. But being a village, we do all of our work in a relatively small area, so saving a whole truck and trailer is pretty nice.
Okay, but it's got wheels. Here in America, you know, we use tracks, right?
Yep.
Okay, so why do you like the wheels so much?
Because it drives itself.
Oh, okay.
I don't need to haul it with a trailer.
Do you find that the stability kind of throws you off, though? No, the wheels don't give you a
That's
kink
just
in
as
your
stable
tongue?
as our Mini we used to have.
Okay, Jeff.
Installed.
Yep.
Jeff, you were telling me off camera. Now, guys, this is Jeff. He actually is you do the training across the United States and Canada.
Yep.
With Renault. Come on in here, Renault. Renault's freaking crazy. He actually is really crazy. That this machine, this wheeled excavator, has a lower center of gravity than any other wheeled excavator on the market. And you guys have been doing this longer than anybody else in the market.
Absolutely, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that, Jeff.
So we have more models than anybody else. We have 5 models in our wheeled excavator lineup.
Okay.
The 12 MTX that we visited together,
Yep.
plus another 4 wheeled models. So you see this unit here, this is our 11-ton iteration. And what we were talking about earlier is the fact that wheeled excavators, typically they're an afterthought. Is they'll take a tracked excavator turret and stick it on a wheeled chassis. And they have to accommodate for wheel oscillation, the axle oscillation. So what that happens is it makes for an extremely high machine. And you can see that for yourselves. If you go down work sites and you look at the machines out there, you'll see they're phenomenally high. So that makes for a high center of gravity, an unstable machine.
The
And
pucker
people-
butt complex.
Exactly,
Right,
exactly.
right.
Yeah,
Yep.
the sphinster sensor.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So here we have a machine that was designed to be a wheeled excavator right out of the box. And the very telling feature about that is if you look at the chassis, there's a notch cut into it.
Right here.
So the riser for the house bearing actually doesn't add to the height. It's actually sunk into the frame. We want a machine that is as low as possible to have a very good center of gravity. So very good on and off-road stability.
That makes sense. Okay, now you guys have a crazy schedule for us today, right?
Yep.
Who's jumping in to tell us everything that we're going to do? Al, you going to jump in and tell us everything we're going to do?
We're gonna cut a tree down and chip it up, load the logs up. We're gonna put a forestry head on it, grind some brush. We're gonna put a stump grinder on it, grind some stumps, and then we can dig some salt out of our plow trucks and make some salt brine.
So do you think we can do all that standing around here looking like a bunch of guys working on on the side of a road, or are we
No.
going to get to
No.
the job?
Let's get at it.
All right, let's get at it. Wait, how fast did you say that goes, Al?
Probably 20.
20 miles an hour.
Yeah, the bigger one. The smaller one, this goes 25.
No wonder you drive that everywhere.
It's quick.
Yeah. Sharp looking too. So now, Al, you're a tiny guy.
You're
How
right.
is getting in and out of this machine for you?
It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, I'm a big guy, yeah, and I don't have too much of a problem with it. enough stuff to grab onto. It's nice steps that you won't slip up. Got nice grips on there.
So what's the point with accessibility on this? Are you saying it's better than somebody else's?
Well, it's a lot better than everybody else's because what we've done is we've planned for this machine to have 4 points of access on it. So a lot of workplace accidents happen when you're either getting into or out of the machine or you're doing your daily checks. So our daily checks are all meant to be done with 2 feet on the ground. We can see that if we open up the engine bay. But then steps on the driver's side, on the left-hand side, steps on the right-hand side. If you come over here and you look at the blade, when we deploy the blade all the way down, this becomes a step, and that serrated part on the blade, that becomes another step. So it's super safe to get into and out of the machine from there. And on the back end of the machine, you can climb up onto the elevators, all depending on where you're set up. So you've got a choice of places to get into and out of the machine safely.
So we're gonna be dropping this tree. And
Okay.
we've gotten really good over the last few months with this machine, taking down trees, cutting them up and just feeding them right into the chipper. You don't even have to touch it. All you have to do is have a guy guide the branches in the chipper. That's about it.
Okay, so you just make your 3 cuts. Boom, boom, your back cuts, your front cut.
Yep.
You're not branching it. You're not worried about nothing. You let the Mecalac do the rest of it.
We do have to branch it. Just
Okay.
because our chipper can't handle the big branches, so
Right.
we have to just small enough the grapple can grab them, feed them in.
Okay. All right. Well, let's watch how they do this operation. I gotta say, whoever said city workers aren't efficient didn't have a frickin' Mecalac. That is the fastest I've ever seen a tree down, ground up, and just disappear. And he doesn't even get out, nothing.
Yeah, that's why they love it. Multiple use function. They got rid of their regular track machine. They're driving everywhere. They don't have to put it on trailers. They've got plenty of attachments. This is what they use for everything.
It's unreal. I mean, just how they got this dialed in, you guys. I'm not often impressed. Not very often. You guys got this thing dialed in. For the record, we got here at a little bit after 9, and it's 9:30, and that tree's down and gone. That's what's left of it. You use that like a Swiss Army knife, Al. That is odd. I have never seen a tree down, cleaned up that fast ever in my life. Yeah, you do.
when you were lifting that log over the side of the road and extending out, how did that feel? How was the pucker factor?
It wasn't. You can lock the axles on there. And
What does that mean?
I mean, the only thing you feel is the flex of the tires. That's it. But after you run that thing for an hour, you get used to that.
Okay. Now you were saying, what is that? Attachment weighs about 1,700 pounds?
Yep.
Because these guys are, you're running a CFP hydro grapple on there, so that's adding extra weight to that end of that boom.
Yep.
Just by the nature of that attachment,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to extend that all the way out and grab that log.
So these cylinders right here, there's one on either side. That's what controls the axle oscillation. So the operator can manually lock it, or when he locks the brake, it will automatically lock. So when they're reaching out over the side, they don't have to worry about the machine tipping over. It's a lot quicker than having to deploy the outriggers and bring them back up every single time.
Oh.
So 4 points of stability. So this, it's as though you were on outriggers, except you're on tires. So you can still drive, you can still do all those operations, reach over on the side, and you're still super stable.
But for the guys that are old school that can't get that out of their brain, you actually do have outrigger.
Yeah.
You got a front blade, and
Yeah.
then you got a back blade, and this all acts as an outrigger, right?
Exactly, exactly. And the premise for that is, you notice the outriggers are in the back of the machine and the oscillating axle is on the front. So what we can do is we can actually correct the stability level of the machine. We can level ourselves out, lock the axle, so we've got a stable point in back and a stable point in front. So we can be off kilter, like working off on the side of the road, and we're level and super stable.
So let's go talk to Al. Al,
Yeah.
you were saying this was your favorite machine.
Yep.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
It's so versatile. And the fact that you can drive it to a work site so fast, and you can do anything with it. With the boom all the way out, and it's so stable.
Was Mecalac paying you to say this?
No.
So another cool thing about this machine, you're working in a nice tight area. Sometimes you don't have that option to turn around. So you're stuck with turning the boom the opposite way, driving in reverse. But on some other machines, your steering is reverse then. So left is right, right is left. The cool option on this machine, there's one button you push. Swaps the entire steering around, so you're not getting disoriented on what direction you're going. And you can travel just as fast as in reverse as forward.
So it's not like you're driving down the wrong side of the road anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, you hit a button and everything's or reoriented back. I mean, because right now, just from what we've done, it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning. We've completely wiped the tree out, ground it up.
Yep.
Nobody was manhandling that tree. We didn't have a trailer. We weren't hopping in a trailer trying to get this thing loaded up, chained down. You hopped in, you were going down the road at what, 20 miles an hour?
Yeah, sometimes 25.
Sometimes 25. Yeah, just a guy can just get in and stay in all day long.
Tight areas, we can hook the chipper right up to the blade. So this blade actually has a kinkle hitch that came from Mecalac. You unbolt it, put it on the front side, you can hook up the chipper, a trailer, or even a little dump box for it. And with the option to flip the steering around, you can drive it just as if you're towing it with the truck.
Have you ever done that though? Have you ever
Yeah.
actually used that hitch?
We had a chipper that we couldn't get the truck turned around with the chipper hooked up.
Yeah.
So we hooked the chipper behind this, drove it down there, unhooked it, then backed the truck down.
All right.
Yesterday we dragged a plow truck up a hill in the woods with it.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
This thing,
Probably should have saved that for today, but oh well.
and even though it's got tires, I've used this blade as a dozer. I was probably pushing a 4-foot tall mound of gravel, asphalt slabs, and it worked amazing. If you turn the axle lock off, it'll plow right through anything. It works just as well as a Mini.
So the premise behind migrating to from a backhoe to a wheeled excavator is, you know, people back in the day, they went with the versatile tool that was available to them, which was the backhoe. But nowadays, with, you know, improvements to machinery and, you know, the advent of, you know, products like Mecalac coming onto the market, people are migrating to wheeled excavators. Now, the only hurdle we have to overcome is stability. And I think that, you know, with the videos that we've been doing and all our demonstrations, we've proven that these machines are extremely stable. So the next step is showing how versatile these machines are, how quickly they can get onto site, do the work, and go to the next site. So productivity, versatility.
All right, so he's now going to switch out the CMP grapple for a forestry head. Let's go see how this goes.
So every time I switch attachments, I go in here and I select my attachment icon.
Okay.
And I have preset hydraulic flows for every one of my attachments, for my CMP grapple, my forestry head, my stump grinder. Because the stump grinder, I can put too much oil to it and it'll blow the hydraulic pump off. So I had to dial the hydraulics down for our stump grinder. But for this, I got them cranked up all the way. So I just select my attachment, and then I go back to my main screen. It says Battle Axe, and all my flows are cranked up all the way from my forestry head.
The time is 10:27. We're already to our second job site. Chipping up rock. Now this is where I'm really kind of paying attention to the center of gravity on the machine. He's got that boom arm extended all the way out, and that is a heavy attachment on the end. So I'm watching the machine to see how well it handles it, and you guys let me know what you think. Does it look like it's tippy, or does it look stable with that big attachment, that big weight sticking all the way out there? You tell me. So I'm noticing how far he's got that boom extended out, and that's a fat head he's got on there. Absolutely, yep. So the way that we're able to work here is we're able to reach out the length of the machine, which is 21 feet. But we can also work really, really close to the machine, whereas a typical excavator, your elbow is going to be all the way out, so you won't have any curl. You won't be able to work close to the machine. Plus, your elbow is going to be out there impeding your movement. So we can tuck all that back into the machine and work super close. Is that because you got an extra boom cylinder right next to the cab that tucks everything in? So our boom is a variable angle boom. So that means that we can reach out and reach back into the machine, tuck everything in nice and close. But now the boom, let's go over here so we can see it. So Jeffrey is the expert from Mecalac. The boom also angles 15 degrees side to side too, right? Exactly. So in theory, what we could be doing now is we could be working, keeping the cutter head parallel to the road and using the offset to do that. So in this particular circumstance, it doesn't matter for the operator, but let's say it was more densely populated, he could be working, keeping the cutter parallel to his work, and he wouldn't be throwing stuff all over the place. Okay, it's 11 o'clock. We're at our third site. We've already taken down a tree. We've cleaned the ditch. Now we're gonna pop on a stump. We're popping on a stump grinder now? Is that the plan? We've been here 4 minutes since we pulled up to the site. So I noticed that's a skid steer attachment you got on the end of there.
Yep. You can dig into piles. You can put the pallet forks on there. We use it all the time just for cold storage because you don't have to move the trailers out of the way. You can reach right up and over and put them back on the shelf. So that was another benefit of this machine. You can flip everything over. You can suck the boom in, get it nice and close to the cab, and you can use it essentially just like a skid steer. So that's pretty cool that it works just as good as a skid loader, but let's see how it works as an excavator. We're gonna go one town over and watch them use it
on one of their job sites. Okay, how long of a ride was that, Paul?
That was about 2 miles.
Okay.
And from where our public works is kind of centrally located in our township, so taking this anywhere within our township, 15-20 minutes, somebody can just hop in there and drive there and be there instead of loading it on a trailer, unloading it, and that's one of the reasons why we bought a wheeled excavator.
Okay.
You know, do some work in this area, do a little ditching, go take care of another problem somewhere else, and relatively quickly because we're not loading and unloading.
What he's doing is by using that, because nobody else does that, right?
Exactly, yeah. So we're not the only manufacturer out there that has a multi-segmented boom and stick. But the thing is that we're unique in the way that we put it out there. So you see that the way that our stick cylinder and the variable angle boom cylinder are working together. And that allows you 3 times the digging amplitude of a standard excavator and any other machine out there as well. So you can see we can dig all along here, pick up all that material and work right up close to the machine. And he's still got lots of stroke on his stick. So it makes for a
He's using it right there.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, but now also every single cylinder has a lockout mechanism on it, so if you ever blow a hose, the machine freezes in place and doesn't drop and crush somebody.
Exactly, so that's exactly right. So for a job like we're doing right now, we're putting in a culvert. Safety is very important because you gotta have people around, and if ever for some reason a piece of debris will, let's say, come and cut a hose and the hose failed, the boom stays exactly where it is.
Do you want to try working alongside of your trench and not straddling it? And if you don't want to do it, do you want to watch, where's the crazy Frenchman? The crazy Frenchman do it, or Jeffrey do it?
We can most definitely try it.
Okay.
All right, so come on over to this way, either that way, your choice, and we'll use the offset and we'll dig parallel to the machine. Okay.
Have you ever done it before, John?
Not offset like this, not to the extent of what you're asking.
Now, do you want to see one of these guys do it first, or do you just want to go for it?
Oh, we're just gonna go for it.
Hell yeah, that's my kind of guy. I love it.
All right.
John, this side.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so he's not digging, he's not straddling his work at this point.
What's really cool, you see how close you can work to the machine? That's because we've got the variable angle boom, we can set it all the way back in.
The guys that we're talking to aren't salesmen. These are the guys that bought their own Mecalac, and they're just showing us how they use these things. So I was just dead wrong. Now we're gonna go mix brine, because why not? We've got extra time. Mecalac has their own skid steer bucket dedicated for the machine, but it's actually bigger than this one. And they need to fit this into the back of their semi-truck to pull the brine out. So they just use their John Deere skid steer bucket to do it. Okay, so wait, you keep the salt in the back of the truck?
Yeah, we just loaded up because we got some storms coming. What we normally do, because we don't have salt storage on this property, so we end up loading up at county, haul it here, but we purchased our own brine maker. So we have the capability of making our own brine. We have a custom-made brine sprayer applicator for the roads, and then we purchased one too. So being able just not to have to store salt on the property, use the trucks that are already loaded, make your own brine, we're set. Now you remember in the beginning of this video I said that Al would probably go home and cuddle with this machine if he could? Well, I don't know if these guys were just showing off or what the deal was, but I watched them use this Mecalac more than any other piece of equipment that they have in their fleet. And the village of Slinger, Wisconsin has a lot of really nice equipment, but this was their go-to for so many different kinds of jobs. But let's just watch it in action. What time is it, Al?
11:53.
You totally cut down a tree, disintegrated it, made it disappear, loaded it into a chipper. You never got it out of the Mecalac. That's at one site.
Yep.
Went to a second site. What did we do next? Cleared the brush, forestry head. Put the Lofness battle axe on.
Put the logs up before that.
Picked up the logs, got rid of those.
Yep.
Went to a third site, stump ground. Came back here, put a skid loader bucket on, and made
Maybe about 600.
600 gallons of brine? Okay, 600 gallons of brine. And
Yeah.
it's not even noon yet. It's getting unreal. I guess I can see what you guys like about this machine so much.
Completely changed the entire dynamic of how we do things.
Jeffrey, now these guys, do you have like a road show or something going on? What's going on with that?
This roadshow is we're going to showcase all of our machines across the Eastern Seaboard. We're going to go to our dealers' sites. There's events that are going to be posted online, and that way we can showcase our Mecalac products. Renault, our demo driver, is going to be there. All the people from the dealerships are going to be there, and I'm going to be there as well.
Okay, so just so you guys are keeping track, we are at the town of Slinger. These guys are now a Mecalac user, so everything you've seen was from guys actually using it. Jeffrey works for Mecalac. Renault is almost like a stunt driver for Mecalac. He is legitimately crazy. So if you have a chance to go check it out, I highly suggest you do so. But is there like a website or something where guys know that they can look up information, or how do they figure out where you're going to be at?
So we're going to be posting that on our website. You can go to Instagram. We're going to be posting that there as well. And the thing that's of real note is the fact that you can actually get into the machines and try them out. So it's not just a show event. You can actually try them out.
All right. And it's 11:55.
And that's a wrap.
And that's a wrap. The Backhoe Killer. I guess they weren't lying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is a Backhoe Killer.
Yep. That's it for this one. God bless you guys. Go get them. We'll catch you guys on another one.